Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, My Hero Academia episode 12 of the third season. Last time we witnessed one of the most epic battles that I have ever seen, and I don't think it's epic because of the action. It wasn't that full of action, so full of effects, but it's epic for another reason. In this case, because all the feelings, all the drama, all the drive around this fight, everything that represented this fight, represent both contenders in this fight, was just incredibly profound, incredibly deep, incredibly sentimental, and a lot more that we just witnessed was in that fight. So yes, that was well, the real reason as to why this is an amazing combat. As I said before in the last video, it's not that technical level of amazingness, the punches and going from one side to the other and fighting against each other and colliding against each other and this spectacular fight. No, but the way they portrayed set battle and everything around it was well, spectacular. All the feelings, all the sentiments, everything around this fight was just beautiful, just gorgeous. So yeah, that's why this elevates as one of the best scenes and best episodes so far from My Hero Academia. So yeah, it was amazing. And now the problem comes for the next episode, in this case the episode 12, because how the hell do you surpass something like that? And I don't think, as many times before, the writers and the animators and everybody involved in this anime is trying to surpass this fight. They are just telling a story. Yes, in some moments there are going to be a lot higher moments than others. A lot more moments are going to be deeper and all of that jazz. But they understand that not every single episode has to be, well, this huge amount of, or competing against each other. I have to be better than the last one. I have to be better than the last one. Because it's going to be hard. They need to tell a story. And as long as they tell the story well, as far as they have been doing that, yeah, I think the anime is going to be one of the best. So far, it's one of the best shonen I have ever seen. So yeah, I think I've spoken enough about this episode, well, the last episode in the last reaction. So yeah, let's just cut this and watch the episode, shall we? Yeah, but what are you going to tell him? Yes, exactly. Yes, but for All Might it's impossible to separate such blood connection. What? Oh, I think I know who that is, yeah. Yeah, that means... Yes! That bastard is a #1 now. Holy! He's really pissed! Oh, of course, because it was handed to him! It's just like Bakugo! What the hell? Oh! Of course he's pissed. Yeah, you're right. He thinks like the Ryu guy, so yeah. Yes. Oh! Oh! Just a second! What? Oh. Oh, yes! He wasn't injured! You're right! Oh, okay, yeah. Yes! Yes, this is something I wanted from a long time. Oh. Oh man, this is so cute. Yeah, that's the end. Whose parents are this? Oh, Kyoko's parents, okay. Okay? Okay, of course. Of course. Okay, I like these parents. Who's oh? Okay. Holy. Okay, now that's a good competition for Bakugo. Oh. Okay, yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yes, that is correct. Yes. Oh. Okay. Yeah, they have been. Oh, they agree. Oh. Yes. Okay, I love the mom. I really love Bakugo's mom. What? Oh, there's fighting no resistance in this house. Yeah, it's not a miracle, but yeah, sure. Oh boy, yeah. I will just turn her side. Oh. Oh, I wasn't expecting this. Oh, okay, that's adorable. Oh. Oh. Yes. The determination, yes. Oh, I really thought this house was going to be easy. Oh, man. Okay, that is conviction, and I love it. Yes, he's a lot more. Holy! Okay, that is a strong image. Holy, those are... Okay. He called the form so long. Holy. Oh God. Okay, this is strong. And I believe that. Okay, yeah, that was a strong speech. Yeah, but she wants to protect him too. Yeah, I understand that. Oh man. Okay. Again, what is with this show that does this? I love this show. I really, really love it. I wasn't expecting any of what happened in the last minutes of the show. I really wasn't. But yeah, I'm gonna watch this again and be back with my comments. See you in a bit. Yes, there's an extra scene. Okay.
戦いの果て弟子に寄り添う道を望んだ。離れ時を見誤った。死に時を失った。
What?
先生というのは弟子を独り立ちさせるためにいる。頼りにしてきた死が手の届かぬ場所へ去り、彼は憎悪を募らせる。
Okay.
戦闘を歩んでいく。仲間もいる。仲間を増やす術も学んでいる。
So yeah, this is a victory again. Okay, that looks more intimidating. Okay, I'm gonna stop it here because it's the preview and I don't want to see spoilers. But yeah, that was the extra scene. And yes, now, really, I'm gonna watch this again and be back with my comments. See you in a bit. Now, really, see you in a bit. Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the 12th episode of the season. And yeah, as I said, the last 5 minutes were a lot more intense than I expected from an episode of the show. But again, I should get used to it. I should know that even when I thought an episode is going to be easygoing, is going to be relaxed, something in said episode is going to make it grow and grow and grow amazingly. So yes, again, My Hero Academia surprised me with that, once again, roller coaster of emotions. But yeah, let's go little by little and in order so we can, well, interpret every scene. Of course, we start with what we finish in the last episode. The message for Izuku from All Might through the camera. And of course, the perspective between Bakugo and Izuku. In this time, Izuku crying because he really knows what that message means. And Bakugo kind of interpret what the message is. He doesn't know exactly what is going on, but he has a clue of what is happening in Midoriya's mind. So yeah, that is a powerful scene from the last episode, and I really mean that. I really mean that this is a very powerful scene. Of course, the next one is with the Metropolitan Police Department. I think it was the correct name. And they are discussing what is going on, or what they learn from the attack. If they learn something else from the Nomus, of course, that isn't the case because they don't react like normal human beings. They react like more of a slaves, that completely broken slaves, and all of that. And of course, once they figured out they didn't capture anybody new, only the small fry that they already captured in the training camp, they start to see, of course, even if we evaluate ourselves quite easily, this is a draw. And one of them says, no, this is not a draw. We trade the freaking symbol of peace. And they lost almost nobody. Even if they lost their leader, it's not the same amount of loss in the political terms. I mean, yes, because losing All for One is a huge fall for the villains. Of course, in the same level as losing the symbol of peace. But this evil, this ultimate evil, the All for One, wasn't in the front lines. Nobody knew who he was. They know, well, the public knew that he existed when he appeared and fight against the main, the main heroes. But of course, the population didn't seem to care about him. He was a villain that was defeated by All Might. But of course, with the weakened state of All Might, the general population understand that the symbol of peace wasn't invincible. He was defeated because now he is completely weak and he can no longer fight. And yes, I love this side because it's not much. It's like 2-3 minutes of a scene in which Suitmen just speak about what they lost and what they should do about the future. But that makes this world a lot more real. Because they are foreseeing the possible consequences of All Might's defeat. Because as I said in the last commentary, there is going to be major consequences. There is going to be huge consequences for this society. Because they said, with every loss, every time the League of Villains lose, they become stronger and stronger and stronger. And that is a complete truth, because they are chipping away the foundations of the hero society. The people in this world start to lose faith in the heroes. The only one who was just completely fine for them was the number one hero, All Might. But after this victory from All Might, they kind of see that the symbol of peace, the best hero of them all, is not invincible as they thought he was, because now he's weak and frail. So yeah, I love these little moments in which, of course, we saw the consequences, the political consequences, not just the physical consequences of an action. I love all these ramifications that are going on in this small scene of 2 minutes. So yeah, they are desperate, they are tired, because they are trying to get a solution for the current problem. And yes, even they say, of course, we need to change the police into, well, what everybody interpret as they are the recipients of the villains, because the heroes are the ones who defeat the villains, not the police. So yes, I love all these new things that are going to be implemented. When? I don't know. But they must be still thinking of how are we going to solve the problem that, well, the defeat of All Might, or the indirect defeat of All Might, cause. Yes, I know All Might won, but still he was completely gone now, and that is something that we're certain that the flames, the linger flames from the all for one, one for all, sorry, the one for all are completely extinguished, and they know that All Might is retired, officially retired, because he no longer is able to fight, well, villains, because he no longer has the strength. So yeah, we later on find out the scene in which, of course, All Might is discussing with the police and his former master, his former teacher. And yes, they are discussing that he needs to go after Shigaraki. But they say no, because you are already compromised. You are already, you know that he is the grandchild of your previous master, Nana. And that makes him, well, All Might is, well, he wants to fight him. Obviously, he can't. Perhaps he wants to reason with Shigaraki. Of course, that is a crazy notion, because if there is a being that Shigaraki hates the most, it's probably All Might. Second place is Izuku, because he always ruins his plans. But yeah, the first place I think so far is All Might. So yes, it is hard for them to say, okay, you are not seeing him as a villain. You are starting to see him as the grandchild of your previous master, or previous teacher, the predecessor of the one for all. You are seeing him like that, and you are not being objectified. You are not being objective. So you need to wait. You need to let other heroes deal with Shigaraki, because you are not ready to face him. Perhaps you're even going to let him kill you because, well, that's what I interpret from this scene, of course. Perhaps you're going to let him kill you because you feel guilty because you were not part of his life. And he's related to your predecessor, and of course you're not going to fight him no matter what, and you're not going to convince him no matter what. Then, of course, we saw an interesting scene in which, of course, they arrive home. They, of course, deliver Bakugo to his to the police so they can interrogate him, not in the condition, of course, of a criminal, but more of a victim, and of course they need to interrogate him. And then I see something very interesting, in which, of course, Shoto Todoroki, of course, returns. I don't want to say the last name because everybody in there is a Todoroki. So yeah, Shoto arrives to his home, and of course the sister is worried, so worried. And I love her voice. I love her voice. I love the way he's been drawing this place. And yes, we see something bigger. That now, officially, since All Might can no longer be a hero, he can no longer hold the number one title. That, of course, is going to pass on to Endeavor, because he was the number 2. But this is, again, a parallel to Bakugo's thinking. Because Bakugo wants to be number 1, and even though he was number 1 in the tournament, he wasn't satisfied because his rival wasn't using all his power, all his strength, all his resources. So he doesn't feel like as a fulfilling victory. It's the same with Endeavor. He's furious because he doesn't earn the number 1 spot in the hero society. He's angry. I don't know angry against whom. Perhaps All Might, perhaps the even hero society, perhaps himself, because he wasn't capable to achieve his goal by his own merits. No, he was handed because, oh yes, the number 1 hero is Donald, so yeah, take it. You're the number 1 by default. So yeah, that is humiliating for Endeavor. And I love that he's been feeling humiliated, because I hate the bastard. I don't care that he kind of saved All Might. He's still a douchebag, and I won't change my mind until he's been redeemed. And so far the show hasn't done that. And perhaps it's going to be redeemed. Perhaps that is going to be the next part of the season. I don't know. But so far, Endeavor is still a douche, and yes, he deserves to be humiliated. So yeah, I'm kind of happy, but I hope he doesn't take his anger against his family, because yes, he is that type of douchebag. So yeah, the next scene, of course, is Deku arriving his home. His mom is worried about him, but he's completely tired. I don't think Izuku's mom is ready to confront his child with the thoughts that she has. She's still kind of holding back in the first scene in which Izuku returns. I kind of feel that she's holding back something else, and of course later on is what this release. Of course, he's completely tired. He's holding the phone and he sleeps while holding the phone. Of course, he received a message from All Might, and something of this caliber for him, a message for All Might is the number one priority for him. So he just runs and goes to the beach to see what All Might wants for him. And yes, this cute moment, of course, that All Might, the classical running scene in the beach. But I love the ending, and I should have seen that coming in the moment he said Texas, because yes, he always, when he attacks, he said the name of a state of the United States. And yeah, he said Texas Smash, of course, not in his full form, in his skeletal form, and it was one hell of a punch. And now that I think about it, he has been reprimanded twice and hit twice for the same action. Because yes, first one was Ida's punch, something I wasn't expecting, and I wasn't expecting this. And the second punch, of course, from All Might, the one I'm speaking about. Yeah, poor Izuku, but yeah, those are the consequences of his actions. And they speak about that, yes, you are getting yourself, you don't keep your promise that you should be away from this, because this was the business of the professionals. So yeah, that was the reprimanding side of him, because he needs to be reprimanded. Because what he did was not correct. He defied the authorities and defied his own mentor, in this case of Might. But later on, of course, he said, but this is the first time you didn't injure yourself while taking action. All the other times you injured yourself. You get yourself hurt because of your lack of patience or your motivation to be a hero. Because yes, Izuku is a hero through and through. And he kind of always have to be in the way because he's the true hero. Of course, this is once you think about it, this is the first time that Izuku take action and doesn't injure himself. He planned in a way, of course, perhaps because he has the restriction of Ida and Yaojorosu, but yeah, that is commendable for Izuku. He make a plan in which he didn't need to fight. He just needs to move fast to rescue somebody else. So yeah, that speaks volumes. And yes, the final moment in this scene is kind of the pent-up, I don't know, frustration, pain within Izuku, because yes, he was worried for All Might. All this stress he wasn't able to really release said stress. And in that moment, in which, of course, he said, I'm gonna look out for you, I'm really going to protect you and teach you whatever you need to become the greatest hero. And that is screamed, and those tears are kind of a cathartic moment for Izuku, because now he finally can release all that pain he was holding back within him. And yeah, I almost never speak about the little cards that appear between what I assume is the commercial break. But this is an important one. Yes, we receive information about All Might, some information that we already knew. But now we see, of course, the information about Best Genius and Ragdoll. And not just information about their quirks, because yes, this is the common information about their quirks and all that. But we receive information about their current state. Yes, Best Genius is alive, which is something I'm so grateful for. Because, again, in a question of minutes, they changed from this indifference box that I have, Best Genius, to one of the most greatest heroes, because he well deserved the number 4 spot. The way he moved, the way he acted, really earned a lot of respect for me. And I'm so glad that he's alive. He's out of commission for a while, as well, for what I can see in the freaking card. But he's alive, which is something I'm so grateful for. And of course, the condition in which Ragdoll is, she's alive. Yes, just like Best Genius. But from what I can read, All for One really absorb or steal her quirk. She can no longer use her quirk. So she's out of commission from being a hero. And I don't think she's going to return as being a hero. So yeah, there is a tragedy, a lot deeper tragedy, because yes, her life, and she looks pretty much the youngest member of the Wild Wild Pussycats. That is from what I can see from her attitude and the way she looks and all that. That is my interpretation, that she is the youngest member of the Wild Wild Pussycats, which is a lot more tragic, because the youngest, the one who has the longer perhaps career, well, from what I can see, the longest career so far, well, not the long. The other members of the Pussycats have already their careers. Some of them, of course, from what we saw, that some of them were reaching the marriage age and they were married. So yeah, this one, from what I can see, was, well, the shortest career of them all, of the Pussycats, of course. And she was cut short thanks to the attack of a villain, one of the most powerful villains, if not the most powerful villain, all for one. And yeah, that is a bigger tragedy because of the circumstances of what I can see. Perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps she is the oldest and she behaved like a child. Perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps I'm right. So yeah, the only time will tell. And yes, then of course we saw the scene that starts everything, because they are going to be now living in a dorm outside of the school. So yeah, they are no longer going to school from the school to their houses. No, they are going to stay within the campus, and of course living in a dorm close by the building of the classes. This is a change, of course. Perhaps this is something that, and from what I can see, something that the principal was planning. And my guess, that was even hinted at when they were trying to look out for the traitor within the school. So yeah, because it was interrupted by the call of All Might, well, the phone call for All Might. So yeah, that is what they were trying to get in, and of course now we see really what they were trying to say. And they of course have to ask permission to the parents, because yes, if they say no, of course they said no. And I love how we met some of the parents. Of course, the first one we met was Jiro's parents, and I should have guessed that, because in the second viewing I saw the name outside of the door, but then the first one I wasn't paying that much of attention to that moment. And yes, I love the way the parents look. He's this kind of old rockstar, the dad is kind of this old rockstar, and the mom looks more of an electronic kind of musician. That is what I can see from what their parents look like. And of course, Jiro inherit her quirk from her mom, because yeah, her mom also has the freaking earphone jacks. And yes, they are of course trying to convince the parents. But when Kyoka appears, they say, "Oh, you don't have to bowl Aizawa Sensei, Master Aizawa, Teacher Aizawa, because we already made the decision." And yeah, they accept. And yes, I love the interpretation, because he was so happy that, oh yes, kids, my daughter has been taught by this great hero. Yes, even the mom in the background is just celebrating. I love that moment. Of course, I was trying to look like a strict parent. Oh, shut up, old man. And yes, I love this moment, because yeah, it's an easy catch for them. Then, of course, we arrived to the house of Bakugo. Of course, everybody thought that it was going to be the hardest one, because he was kidnapped and all that surround Bakugo. But no, again, the mom is okay for Bakugo to attend UA, and he's smacking Bakugo right and left. And now I see why Bakugo behaves like, well, he does. The mom is just he's almost like a gender bender of her mom, or her mom is a gender bender of him, another gender bender. So yes, they are almost identical. And yes, I love the way the mom looks, and I love the attitude she has. The dad is the calm one, and the mom is the aggressive one, the loud one. And of course, really, Bakugo took a lot from her. And yes, again, in a more calm moment, she said, of course, my son has been praised left and right. He has been, well, just believing that he's the best. And yes, he has an amazing quirk. He has an amazing quirk. But the way he behaves is not correct. That's what I interpret from what she said. Those are, of course, not the exact words. And I love the moment in which she said, oh, but I love how you said that, yes, the way that Bakugo behaves is of somebody that wants to be the number one, that wants to be the top hero, and if the villains say that he's a bad guy, they of course are short-sighted. And that's perhaps what convinced the mom, because they really are looking at Bakugo close. They know how he is. They know that he's very hot-headed, very aggressive, but they don't believe that he is a villain, that he is a hero in training, that they need to polish a lot, because his attitude is, well, crap. But they know that he is not a bad person. And that's my guess that what convinced the mom and the dad for letting them, of course, attend to UA. And the one that I thought it was going to be the easy one was the hardest one. Midoriya's mom. She has to withstand to see her son being punished. And I don't mean by bad behavior. No, I mean punishing by hurting himself, being more damaged and more damaged. Because she wasn't expecting this. She wasn't ready for this. She wants to support her son, but seeing him in constant danger, of course, this has a negative effect on her. Izuku is such a great hero because, yeah, I think he is a great hero, and I have always thought that he always wants to rescue everybody, even letting his own self-preservation aside. He's willing to sacrifice his life for somebody that he doesn't even know, as a true hero. But that is actually a major problem for Midoriya's mom, because she always going to see his son as somebody she has to protect. And the way Midoriya behaves and the way Midoriya is, well, being treated or being portrayed in the sports festival, the attacks and all that, is that she needs to protect her son. And the best way to do so is to separate his son from this school, from the UA. Any other school will be fine, but UA being such a hot spot, the best school, of course, is going to be attacked the most. So yeah, that is the way of thinking of Midoriya's mom. I understand her reasoning. Of course, I want Midoriya to be the best hero and to be in the best school. But I understand the way the mom feels. And of course, she is refusing, for a very good reason, letting her son to be in this school. Even with the best hero being in charge of training Izuku, she is against this. And of course, this infuriates Midoriya. He just runs to his room. And I thought he was just, well, as a teenager, making, of course, being angry because her mom didn't understand. But he was trying to do something else. And I love this from Midoriya, because he has so much resolve to be a hero. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be UA. But I want to tell you that there is a person that sees me as her hero, as their hero. In this case, Kota. And yes, I want to be a hero. Doesn't matter the school. And I love that resolve in Izuku's mind, that yes, he's going to be the best hero And it doesn't matter if he's not the best school, but he's going to become the best hero. And I love, again, that resolution. Because thanks to that, even All Might, and I think this is a lot stronger than my first interpretation thought. When he becomes muscular, just for us, and to really say, okay, I know that I haven't been the best teacher. And he's bowing, even into the freaking ground. I haven't been the best teacher. The admiration of Midoriya, to me, just blind me. But I swear on my own life that I will teach him, and I will train him, and I will make him the best hero there is, and I will protect him no matter what. Of course, those weren't his exact words, but that's what my idea of what happened. And yes, he tried to maintain the muscular form as much as he could. And as I said, that is stronger than I thought at the beginning, because the muscular form is the number one hero, the best one, the one at the top. And even when the best one at the top is bowing to you, is showing a huge amount of respect, because my interpretation of this scene is that they do not deserve my form, my weak form. No, they deserve my strong form. And this strong form is asking for forgiveness and asking a new opportunity for the UA to be, this new UA, to become really the house of Midoriya. Of course, Izuku's mom say, okay, but Midoriya, Izuku admires you so much that I don't want you to die. I want you to live and to protect my son, but I want you to live, to train him and to be by his side. And again, this is I don't know, a correct or a wrong interpretation for me, because the more I look at this, All Might is really the most prevalent father figure for Midoriya. His dad is never at home. And yes, the justification is that he is working in other place, far away, so he cannot return home. But as far, I don't know how the dad is. And of course, All Might is really, really, really looking more and more and more like the father figure for Midoriya. And I love this. I love really that father figure. Yeah, this is a very strong scene. And that is the moment I really said, okay, why this anime always makes something this strong in the most mundane episodes? And that's why I almost was out of words in the last portion, in the last scene, because it's very, very strong. And of course, the extra scene, we see a parallel of All Might. Both of them are alive, both the last generation of teachers, one for Shimura, another for Midoriya. In, of course, different circumstances. And the methods they say, of course, All Might choose to protect his students, to really teach them, to really make them grow alongside with him. The method, let's say, that was forced to the All for One is to let Shigaraki grow. Let him be the leader, thanks to the hate and the resentfulness that he feels towards All Might and the Hero Society itself. So yeah, those parallels speaks volumes of these, these individuals, especially the twisted one that is All for One. Because his plan, I guess, is to destroy All Might, and I don't think that has been fulfilled. And it's not over yet. He wants to destroy All Might and the Hero Society that took everything away from him, no matter what. Even if he is not the one who destroys it. He just wants to witness this destruction. So, yeah, it's an amazing episode and a lot deeper than I expected. The consequences, all the types of consequences that we're going to see, the political consequences, the physical consequences, everything that is going to be seen in this animation. And of course, this really makes me like a lot more. I really like Midoriya's mom. But this makes me like her even more. Because yes, she's strong-willed. Even we haven't seen her much about her until this moment. And what I saw, I really like. I really love, because she's strong-willed. She didn't hesitate. She didn't change her mind just because All Might was there. Something else make her change her mind. But not just the presence of All Might. So yeah, I really love Izuku's mom. I really do. I really love her character. And I really like Bakugo's mom. Well, Katsuki's mom. She is again strong-willed, but in a different way. She is a lot more aggressive. And yes, it's understandable. But she understands better her son than anybody else. And I love the way she was convinced. Again, this is my interpretation, is thanks to the words that Isa was said. So yes, I really like those moms that appear. And yes, the other parents were treated more of a, well, the other two parents that appear were treated more of a comedic moment, in which, of course, a light-hearted moment. They really didn't have any much consequences for the plot, because yeah, it was decided before we arrived to the house that, of course, Jiro was going to be back at UA. So yeah, those are the most important aspects. And of course, something else I really didn't mention during the description of the scene. In the moment that All Might is begging for for a forgiveness and for letting Deku attend to this UA school, he said that he is going to be the successor. He is going to be the new symbol of peace. And of course, this has a huge impact in Midoriya. Even if he knew, or even if he interprets, say that, oh yes, I need to be the new symbol of peace because I inherit the all for one, one for all. Sorry, again, the one for all. I think this is the first time that he hears All Might saying this. This is the first time in which he's been expressed in his presence. And of course, the mom is overwhelmed by said statement. She doesn't know, of course. Perhaps it would be easier if she knew that the quirk that Midoriya has, that Izuku has, is the same as the one that All Might had. Of course, she doesn't know. And this overwhelms her too. Because from being a child without a quirk that she wants to protect, no matter what, from a child with an amazing quirk to be the symbol of peace, saying by the former symbol of peace, it's a huge weight for them. So yes, that moment I love, because the reaction were so precious for me in the moment this was uttered. So yes, it is an amazing episode for all the subtlety that this one has. All the little moments, all the little reactions, all these words that were uttered, all the interpretation of said words makes him a great episode. A lot deeper than I expected, and a great episode. But yeah, I think I have spoken enough about this one. I really did. And it's going to be up in the acid in the last part. But anyway, yeah, I spoken up, so the only thing I have to say is thank you so much, guys, for your attention, for your comments, for your views, for your likes, and for your subscription. And if you want to be a subscriber, click on the bottom for subscriptions and on the bell so you can get notifications. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, the link is in the description below. So yeah, that's it for now. I'm really waiting for the next one. But yeah, that's it for now. And well, see you on the next one. Bye.